Hi, I'm Teresa the Traveler, and today I am in Zanzibar. It's an island in Tanzania, and I'm here with my friend Monique, and we are about to explore the island. We are staying at the Zanzibar Beach Resort, and we're just sitting down for breakfast. So we've discovered a new fruit called shock shock.
It kind of looks like a hairy eyeball.
Yes, it does.
It tastes good, but it's weird in your mouth. It feels like there's like a giant
eyeball? Okay, that didn't really sound convincing, but... Oh, that's good, Monique. Just don't throw the whole thing in your mouth at once. Down here we have our cat friend giving himself a bath. Okay, I'm gonna try another new fruit. This one. What the? It tastes okay, but it just fills your mouth up with a bunch of hard seeds that you can't chew. According to Monique, you are not supposed to chew the seeds, you're just supposed to swallow. Now I'm gonna have my favorite drink in Africa, the Masai Chai. Okay, our driver's here, and this is our tour van for the day. We like the music. We got some schoolgirls, I think. Just getting out of school. We're at the beach right now, and we're about to take a boat to Prison Island. This is gonna be an adventure. Get my shoes off. I'm gonna walk into the water and... What's that? Oh. So he's bringing the boat here. I was about to go and hop in the boat. This boat is pretty cool. The water here is so clear. And we're off. Hi! We're getting close. Prison Island is right ahead. So this island is where the Arabic slave trade took place. And later it was turned into a prison, hence the name Prison Island. This is like the African Alcatraz. Wow. This sand is incredible. It just feels like silk on my feet. It's so fine. And we begin our tour of the island. We're at the Tortoise Sanctuary right now, and I'm just trying to figure out if these are real tortoises or statue tortoises. Oh my god, it's moving. These are real tortoises. Oh, are you ever beautiful? So these tortoises were a gift from Seychelles Island. I think I said that right. Anyway, it's the president gave them to the Sultan years and years ago. They gave him 2 boys, 2 girls, and they had families. That is interesting. On the top of the shell, they give the age. This guy here is 57. Here is the oldest. He is 194 years old. You notice there's some damage on his shell. It's because a tree fell on him. In this cage, we have all the babies. They're all sorts of ages. They don't let them out of the cage and into the sanctuary until they're 4 years old. Mother turtles are not exactly maternal. Once they have their turtle eggs, they just kind of leave and go off on their own. So the babies are left to fend for themselves. They love having their necks rubbed, and when you rub their necks, their little heads come out. This one is 12 years old. Okay, say cheese. Cheese.
Stand up.
This guy is 112. Oh look, he's gonna stand up. He is getting a nice neck rub. Hi, buddy. Look at that smile. So this guy is the second oldest. He is 160 years old and weighs 250 kilograms. We got a little turtle roadblock here. Interesting fact about turtles, they drink through their nose. See, this guy's drinking through his nose. This prison was built in 1893 to be the official prison of Zanzibar. However, around that time, there was also a spread of cholera and the bubonic plague, and the British authorities made this a place where people could be held to make sure that the plague didn't spread throughout Tanzania. The prison fell in ruins, but it has been restored. It has a really cool wooden door, which is quite common in this area of Tanzania. It has a gorgeous courtyard. really cool walkway down here that brings you out to a gorgeous view of the ocean. Look at that. So this building is the same area where the slave platform was. In Stonetown, they have a slave market. That's where people bought and sold slaves. And then once they bought the slaves, they brought them to the island here, Prison Island, and this is where they prepared them to ship them off to different countries. Now we are heading back to the boat and we're going to Stonetown. From here you can see Zanzibar in the background. There's a bunch of water taxis coming in, bringing in more tourists, just as we're about to leave. Good timing. Okay, he's pulling up anchor and we are fixing to go. Alright, we are almost back on the main island. Now we are doing a tour of Stonetown with our guide Ali here.
This place we call Stonetown because all the buildings here, they were built from the coral stone.
This was an Arab trading town and they traded spices, ivory, coconuts, and slaves. So this is the old British consulate, and Dr. David Livingstone, his body was transported here after he died for a few weeks. Livingstone was the first European to discover Victoria Falls. Over here we have the Freddie Mercury house. Freddie Mercury was actually born in Zanzibar. His original name was Farouk Bulsara. So Freddie Mercury left Zanzibar during the Socialist Revolution, moved to Britain, and became famous as the lead singer of Queen. Monique and I ended up in the souvenir shop and we bought shawls. Now we're just walking down some of the narrow streets. We found a Mzungo t-shirt. And what does Mzungo mean?
That's us.
The fort was built in 1700 by Arabs for defense against the Portuguese.
Inside the fort is little souvenir stands. They also have music and film festivals in the castle here. We have an amphitheater here and the guys are doing some funky dancing. Now we are in Fortozani Park. They call this the House of Wonders because in 1883 it was the first place in East Africa to have electricity.
It was built as a ceremonial palace.
By the Sultan.
By Sultan, yeah.
Which Sultan?
Sultan Barhash.
Barhash.
Yeah, he was
Sultan Barhash.
He was the third Sultan of Zanzibar.
They have a little floating cabana here. I think you can rent it and sleep there. And beside it, they have a floating bar that looks like it's gonna sink. And over here, they have the floating restaurant that's not actually floating at all. There's a lot of cats around here. Hi. Hi, Nappy Cat. There are lots of shops that sell really cool art. This is a very typical Zanzibar door. There are so many narrow streets and alleyways in here. You can get lost pretty easily. It is a total nut house in some of these streets. Yeah, this is a little crazy walking down here with all the people on mopeds trying to get through. You get an idea of how busy it is. They sell all sorts of vegetables and everything here. Now we're visiting the former slave market site. This is the area where they would buy and sell slaves. There wasn't a building here. It was just an open platform. They had a tree where they would tie the slaves and whip them. And when they abolished the slave trade, they ripped down the tree and they put the altar right on the spot where the tree was. So the bishop put red marble here to represent the blood of the slaves that were whipped here. And the circle right here represents where the tree once stood. This crucifix was made from the wood of the tree under which Dr. Livingstone died at Chimbombo village in Zambia in 1873, and under which his heart was buried. Dr. Livingstone died of malaria. Now we are back in the car listening to some funky music and making our way to one of the nicest beaches. Driving through Spice Farm area. Spice farms are one of the big industries on this island. So we're now at the place where we're walking down to the beach. We're not sure if we're gonna like the beach or not, but so far we had to pay $10 each to buy drinks and food to get into the beach because it's a private resort we're going to. All right, it's looking less sketchy and a little more like a beach now. They have a big covered restaurant and pub sort of thing there. Lots of loungers to lay around on the beach. The sand is incredible. Soft white sand as far as you can see. I just found my first shell. There are shells on this beach. We came upon this cool little cave area. This is like coral or something. Yes, this is definitely one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever been to, so we will be paying the cab driver. There's this cool pier restaurant at the end of the beach. This water is so warm. And we're gonna end our tour with lunch at this funky restaurant.